Breaking news at 6. Deputies have identified the man killed in a mass shooting. What neighbors described hearing and seeing as that gunfire rang out, and the latest on the investigation. Also back open, the streets at South Point was business as usual today after a bomb scare yesterday. Why shoppers say they came out to the mall today. Plus, saying goodbye, mountain bikers are hitting the trails at Lake Crabtree County Park one last time. What they hope to see in the future as that land is set to be developed.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
And we want to get you right to that breaking news this evening. We now know the name of the man killed in a mass shooting overnight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Eric Miller. This all happened in Catawba County in the early hours of this morning. One person was killed. 11 others were injured during a house party at a home on Walnut Acres Drive near Hickory. Deputies identified the man killed as 58-year-old Sean Patrick Hood. In an update from law enforcement within the last 3 hours, we learned that a noise complaint was made about a party a little more than an hour before the shooting happened. Catawba County deputies responded to the home at that time and talked to people there who turned down their music. Deputies were then called back to the house at 12:45 in the morning after receiving multiple 911 calls about a shooting. Investigators say more than 80 shots were fired. They say the crime scene extends over more than 2 acres, even into the street, a house, the backyard, and a neighboring yard. WRAL talked with one neighbor who heard that commotion.
We turned the lights off so that we wouldn't be seen. Because obviously you hear gunshots, you don't want to be a target. But we couldn't hear what they were saying. And then as ambulances and emergency vehicles started to arrive, we could hear people, saying, hey, over here. And, when the police arrived, we could hear them telling people to get on the ground.
At this afternoon's update, law enforcement talked about the toll this shooting has already taken on the community.
I've talked to some of the folks here, and they are horrified with what has happened this morning.
The people of North Carolina should be able to enjoy a spring evening. Unfortunately, violent crime came to the countryside here.
Again, so far, no arrests have been made. Deputies believe the people who attended the party were not local, at least not entirely, and they want to hear from everyone who was there. If you were there or you know somebody who was, call 911 or the FBI. You can also leave a tip online on the FBI's website. Turning to our forecast, we've got some scattered storms on the radar right now. Let's get right over to meteorologist Anthony Baglione for a closer look.
Eric, it's definitely been a bit of an active afternoon here and going to be an active evening for some of our southern counties. You can see definitely with some showers and thunderstorms pushing through. Most of us, though, looking pretty good. We've had a little bit of light activity around downtown Raleigh and Durham. That has since moved through, and if you have any plans here through the next little while, I can't totally rule out a shower or thunderstorm still in these areas, but by far the better coverage is going to stay to our south. Wake Forest, though, definitely getting a pretty decent area of some rain coming through. Clayton, Wendell, very, very light coverage with that limited area kind of pushing to the east there. This is definitely the heaviest that we're tracking. It has pushed through Southern Pines, but you see all the reds, the oranges, even some lightning approaching, if not at your doorstep there in Hope Mills. Fayetteville, same story. If this holds together, that will likely be into Clinton, and then also for, let's say, Laurinburg and some of our southern counties in the next little while. There's Futurecast. We go through the next couple of hours. We may still see some scattered storms up until about midnight. And then, Eric, we get to tomorrow morning, a really, really nice start for us, but we heat up big time this week. We'll talk about some 90s back in the forecast here in just a few minutes.
And right now in the WRAL Live Center, an update to a stabbing in Raleigh. Let's get you right over to video from that scene. This all happened on Magnolia Court this afternoon. Raleigh police say it happened just after 12:30. They found a man on scene with a stab wound. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. No word yet on who that man is, and also no word on surrounding details yet. But a suspect is in custody.
Megan, thank you very much. Back-to-back false alarms from fireworks and then from a suspicious package. Durham's South Point Mall reopened this afternoon after 2 days of fear-inciting situations. WRAL's Laura Levine speaks with shoppers today, including one who experienced a previous traumatic event at this very location.
It's back to business as usual at the streets at South Point after a jarring weekend for shoppers at the mall.
We just live in a crazy world right now. We're all on the lookout for something to happen, but if we live like that, What are we going to do?
From a fireworks fall shooting scare to a potential bomb threat evacuating the entire area, all happening less than 24 hours apart.
We almost didn't even go yesterday because of the firework incident Friday night. People were hiding in lockdowns in the stores again, and I was like, I can't relive that.
I spoke with someone by phone who did not want to be identified. She tells me she and her family were at the mall making returns Saturday when the mass panic began. Unfortunately, it's all too familiar for them. They were also here for the 2021 Black Friday mall shooting.
And then we were still in front of the food court, and then when the shooting took place, which wasn't but a few feet from me, we ran to the bathrooms and we hid, and the people were getting trampled, trying to get down the stairs and everything. So when I started that caution tape go up yesterday, everything flashed back to me.
She says they now take more precautions, like making sure they stick together when they shop, and they left immediately as soon as they saw police move in this time. As far as the investigation stands, I did reach out to Durham Police to ask a few follow-up questions, including if the people involved in both incidents could face any charges. False alarm or not, shoppers tell me they're thankful these calls are taken seriously and refuse to allow this to make them live in fear.
You can't stop things you enjoy doing, like coming to the mall, eating on Sundays, walking the mall.
Laura Levine, WRAL News in Durham.
And we're still waiting for a response from Durham Police on those questions into those investigations. Troopers caught on camera months ago not telling the truth about a chase where the suspect crashed and died.
I wouldn't mention anything to them about you tried to stop him. No, I won't.
Now, that crash happened 7 months ago, and yet those troopers are still on leave pending an internal investigation. Tomorrow night at 6, WRAL Investigates asks what's taking so long with the lie caught on camera, seeking accountability. That's tomorrow night at 6. North Carolina homeowners will open insurance renewal letters this week and find a bigger bill inside. Beginning today, homeowners insurance premiums jump an average of 7.5%. The average homeowner will pay about $250 more per year. Coastal counties will feel this sting first, up 16% this year and almost 16% again in 2026 as hurricane losses mount and insurance prices climb higher. Another round of rate hikes is scheduled for next summer. Today, of course, the official start of hurricane season. At the moment, nothing major is brewing off the coastline, but that could change in the weeks ahead. You can read more about the start of this hurricane season and what our team of WRAL meteorologists have forecasted in the months ahead right now on WRAL.com. And make sure to have the WRAL weather app on your phone so you can track hurricanes and storms with interactive radar and customize alerts that are specific to your area. It's free to download. As the sun goes down, the last few mountain bikers and hikers are leaving Lake Crabtree County Park for the last time. Today, hundreds came out to say goodbye to this 136-acre section that will close at the end of the day. A lease between Wake County and the RDU Airport Authority is set to end, and plans for redevelopment are in the works. WRAL's Heidi Kirk is live at the park this evening. Heidi, this has drawn attention from people across the county.
Well, and Eric, these signs have been posted here for months now, letting people know that the multi-use trails will permanently close at the end of the day today. Now, if you walk over this way, you'll see the start of one of these trails. We've been talking to people out here all afternoon long, many people coming by to say goodbye for the very last time. Now, take a look at this footage. This is what you'll see some people doing out here, especially on a beautiful day like today. Now, the Raleigh-Durham International Airport has leased this land to Wake County for $1 a year for public use. Now, RDU has said the terms of that lease no longer comply with federal regulations, which require the airport authority to charge fair market value for the land. The lease is set to expire on June 30th. Now, advocates for the park say they're still pushing for a different outcome.
I think they should just come out and see the beauty of this place and see how many people rely on this place and how many people enjoy this place every day. It's a great place, and it would really suck for it to just be a bunch of concrete.
Now, the exact plans for this area remain unclear. Early plans from RDU say the development will create a unique and innovative entertainment destination, which will appeal to the Greater Triangle region, potentially including restaurants, bars, things of that nature. Now, Wake County does say that they do have plans to develop some new trails in this area to make up for the ones that are lost here. Of course, we're still asking questions about that. Some of those answers are unclear at this time. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News, live in Wake County.
Heidi, thank you very much. Still to come, fly traps in danger. North Carolina's famous carnivorous plants are facing a new threat. Just ahead, what's now jeopardizing their survival? And lights in the nights, why we could actually see the aurora borealis this evening and tomorrow night.
An update now on that mass shooting in Catawba County. Authorities are sharing a few more details with us. 7 people are in the hospital. Victims range in age from 16 to 57. Family of the man killed, Sean Hood, have been notified. And the crime scene does span all of Walnut Acres Drive. Again, 1 person died and 11 people total were hurt.
Thank you for that update, Megan. A carnivorous plant native only to the North Carolina coast is under attack. From May until June, you can find Venus flytraps in full bloom in southeastern North Carolina, like here at Carolina Beach State Park. The plant is known for its clever way of trapping insects for nutrients. Rapid development in the area is now threatening their survival.
These flytraps, they're in backyards throughout the counties in North Carolina where they're found. You know, development can just happen right on top of them.
If you do come across Venus flytraps on the coast this summer, do not pick them. They're legally protected, and harvesting the flytraps is a felony in North Carolina. A powerful geomagnetic storm is currently hitting Earth's atmosphere, and this may lead to some aurora displays, also known as the northern lights, that we can see right here in NC both tonight and tomorrow. The northern lights are caused by intense explosions of plasma and magnetic particles coming from the surface of the sun. All of that expands as it gets closer to Earth and then reaches the upper atmosphere. The interaction of these particles with the gases in Earth's atmosphere results in that spectacular green and red aurora. NASA Ambassador Tony Rice spoke with WRAL meteorologist Chris Michaels this morning about what we can expect.
This one's particularly strong, and I want to make sure everybody understands that this isn't quite as strong. It doesn't look like we're going to have some of the same effects that we had this time last year. Okay. But pretty strong. Mm-hmm. So we've got some possibility of seeing it possibly low on the northern horizon. Mm-hmm. Look for a green glow or possibly some red like we saw last year.
Yeah, and if you get a good view of those northern lights in your area, we want you to see them. You can send us any pictures you take. Just look for the Report It link on WRAL.com or that WRAL News app. And all right, the big question, is it going to be clear enough for us to actually see those northern lights? Meteorologist Anthony Baglione tracking that for us.
That's certainly the big question for us. I think as we get after midnight, we should start to see skies clearing on out. It is not going to be a night where we have cloud cover across the entire region. So fingers crossed, I do think we're looking good for that. Like they were saying, though, probably not going to be as vivid as we had last year, but just an option to kind of go out there and look to the north for us tonight. Otherwise, I want to start us off here with radar because it's another day where we have some showers and thunderstorms, mainly for our southern counties at the moment. It's pushed through just about, I would say, Southern Pines, Fayetteville. This is moving through your area right now. And even for some of our southern counties, Dunn, we're starting to see that push on out. But we're going to continue to track that line here, moving to the southeast at about 40. We're looking at Roseboro about 629, Clinton at 633, and then Warsaw, we'll say about 649, just before 7 p.m. if that holds together. There's also a little batch of some rain that has had some potency coming with it from Youngsville to Wake Forest. It's moving just north of Rollsville and probably going to continue in about that direction off to the east here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So definitely some rain coming down there. I tilted our camera just a little bit, though. You can see in Clinton, you can make out some of those clouds, kind of the dark skies there. Not necessarily a lot of rainfall or any I'm seeing coming down quite yet, but that will likely change here in the next bit. Here's Futurecast. We go through tonight, put this into motion. The coverage may try and fill in just a little bit from about the triangle down to the south, but after After midnight, we see cloud cover clearing out. We'll go for partly cloudy skies there at 2 o'clock, and then a really nice start for us on our Monday morning. We'll see a lot of sunshine across the area, and temperatures actually a little bit cool in many locations. 49 there is the wake-up call in Roxborough. We should be in the upper 50s and lower 60s from about the Triangle down to the south, but another morning where it is just going to be a great start if you want to head outside and just go for a walk, enjoy a cup of coffee, just start off with a calm, peaceful morning. We go through the day, very similar story as what we saw here, at least for the first half of today with the sunshine. No storm chances tomorrow. That alone is a change compared to the past couple weeks we've seen. 79 degrees during the afternoon. It should be a gorgeous start to our week. If you like those temperatures, though, I encourage you to soak them up both on Monday. Tuesday, we start to warm up at its first humidity levels. Monday, Tuesday, still looking fine. Because we get to Friday, we are back in the low 90s and humidity levels do start to go up. There's a look at the humidity levels here through the next couple days. Refreshing, great, whatever you want to say for tomorrow. A really good forecast here as far as humidity. We get to Wednesday, it will likely start to be a little bit more noticeable. And then Thursday, Friday, it bumps right back up. Probably going to be feeling more like summer as opposed to kind of that refreshing, comfortable feel. Look at the next 7 days, though. So really limited rain chances until we get into next weekend. We're at 85 on Tuesday, 86 Wednesday, low 90s there, though, as we head into our Thursday, Friday, guys, and then still some scattered storms Saturday and Sunday. Looking great, though, for us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Anthony, I'm still just hanging on to that low humidity as long as we've got it for this year. Thank you very much. And you know what? Fantastic weather for baseball today, Chris.
Absolutely. It's a big day in college baseball. Who has life and who may have seen their seasons come to an end. Plus, traitor or just loyal to his own pockets. The unprecedented transfer portal move that we saw in sports. Next.
Now here's Jeff Hogan with a look at what we're working on for WRAL News tomorrow morning.
It's a dry start to our work week, but that means summer heat. Elizabeth Gardner will be tracking when we return to the 90s, and Ken Smith will be on that traffic every 10 minutes. Plus, tracking down money you may not realize you're spending. 5 on Your Side shows you how to rein in your spending on subscription services and how to find the ones you don't use anymore. Join us tomorrow morning beginning at 4:30 a.m.
Outside of R.J. Davis, Vin Allen Lubin was probably UNC's MVP down the stretch last season, going from a nice piece off the bench to putting together memorable performances. He then hit the transfer portal after the season, and his landing spot today was just shocking. Lubin committed to playing his senior season for Will Wade and the NC State Wolfpack. Lubin is listed at 6'8". He sure could help out the Wolfpack's front court. He averaged just under 9 points per game and 5 rebounds per game this past year for the Heels. And he sure will bring in the experience for the Wolfpack in his senior year. He becomes the second former UNC player to eventually transfer to NC State. So let's have a conversation about this. UNC fans are expressing the spectrum of emotion about this decision. Some don't care, some are upset. Now, I can't tell anybody how to feel, but one sentiment I do want to push back on is this. A few fans have said there's no loyalty anymore, and my question is, loyalty to what? Loyalty was all college kids had in sports before the transfer portal and NIL. But while they were loyal for years, coaches, administrators, conferences, and television networks raked in billions of dollars. The athletes have always been the product, but everything around the product benefited financially for years, while the students would get in trouble if they sold their practice shoes to get some pocket change. Coaches could change jobs in the middle of the night after convincing families that they would take care of their sons or daughters, all while signing new $1 million deals. Now, once the players started getting some of that share that they deserved, you can't expect much brand loyalty. If a player's contract is up with the Boston Celtics and the Lakers are offering more cash and a bigger role, don't expect loyalty in that rivalry either. The loyalty is to their pockets, and you cannot blame the athletes. For years, their loyalty was required while everyone else got paid and they weren't loyal to them. Maybe you don't like where things are now, but it's a reflection of the values that we have in this country to business and the gain of the dollar. And now these athletes finally have access to it to be loyal to their pockets like everyone else can. Let's talk about something else. UNC baseball has had a great weekend. Now they have to win one more game to make it to the Super Regional round, which they will host. The Tar Heels beat Oklahoma and Holy Cross already. In just a few moments, they're going to play their second contest versus the Sooners, which will be at 6:36. If the Heels win, then they are in. If not, both teams will play again tomorrow. The winner of that game will go on to the Super Regionals highlights tonight at 10 and 11. If the game is over, East Carolina made it to the NCAA tournament by the skin of their teeth, and they had to win their conference tournament just to make it in, and now they've been balling ever since. Elimination game. Winner moves on to take on Coastal Carolina. Second inning, Braden Burris reaches and he connects. It's going to drop right in front of the right fielder. Austin Irby will come home for the first score of the evening for the Pirates, 1-0. The Pirates are going to score one more in that same inning. Third inning, Pirates up 5-1. Jack Herring singles down left field. Two come home to score, making it 7-1 for the Pirates at the end of the inning. 5 runs in the third. Sixth inning, here's the problem for Florida. Colby Wallace reaches on a fielding error. Check out this throwing error right there. One of 3 errors for the Gators in this game. Raleigh Johnson able to trot home for another score. The Pirates are currently playing Coastal Carolina for the chance to go to the Super Regional, They win this one 11-4. So Duke is also playing. UNC is playing in a little bit. NC State is winning right now. There's a possibility 4 teams can make it to the Super Regionals.
Chris, just absolutely wild. And that error right there, oh my gosh, you could feel the ground shake when he hit the ground going after that ball.
Man.
Chris, thank you very much. And thank you for joining us. Have a fantastic evening. You can join us tonight at 10 and 11 o'clock for more WRAL News.